people can change over time.
This is a big personal growth moment for Ken.
Look at Dalton's. His is
Dalton?
15
Oh my
hours and 2
God,
minutes.
Dalton.
I bet I think of half of like the video ideas that I come up with driving.
We get along a little too well.
So we might have to change something about that.
I'm so much happier doing this. Dude, when your friends are your coworkers and your coworkers are your friends, it's the best possible scenario.
I don't know if we can talk about this on the pod, but did you guys fucking watch the debate?
Oh, man.
Yeah, bro.
Dude, I've been getting so many,
That was
so
some-
many just videos from it, and it's amazing
TV.
that was like actually something that happened.
That was
I know.
great TV, in my
Was
opinion.
it? I couldn't watch
Oh,
it.
my God. It's so entertaining.
It's like a South Park sketch.
It's just so
It is.
entertaining.
Yeah. I got served like a South Park reel right after I was watching debates, and it was like, all right, the giant douche against the turd sandwich. Yeah.
That's an old one. That's
Yeah.
an old one, yeah.
Yeah,
I was
from-
like, dude, man, what is it? Reality imitates art?
Yeah,
Or
it
art
was-
imitates reality, or
yeah,
whatever
for
it
sure.
is.
If a South Park sketch hasn't happened yet in real life, it's only a matter of time.
No, it was genuinely entertaining, though. I'm only about halfway through it. It was like a movie. Like, I
you're-
would say if you
you're
have an
gonna
hour
watch.
and a half, like, just sit down and watch. It's just genuinely entertaining.
Wow.
Here's my opinion. Like, the Democrats knew what they were doing. They were throwing Biden to the wolves. There's
I'm
no
surprised.
way
I'm surprised
that they
they
thought
let,
that was
I'm
going to go
surprised they
well.
let it go.
They want him to maybe step down, like whoever's
Mm.
pulling the strings. So they were like, oh, yeah, let's 100% send him to a debate
That was
early enough. So then, like, they can put Newsom in.
I don't know if you guys watched like the commentary afterwards, but that's the only thing people were talking about.
I think it was CNN that was the one that was like broadcasting it. And before they were talking about how like, yeah, this is going to be a great thing. Earliest presidential debate in history. It's great. And then immediately after they're like, yeah, that was a mistake.
And that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't know, though.
funny.
Like, why would they agree to do that if there wasn't some, like, hidden agenda like
'Cause
that?
it's still like a month and a half out from like the convention. So, like he still technically has been nominated as the.
Yeah, I think this was like a trial to see, like, if he had the chops, or, well, that gives us enough time to maybe get somebody else in there.
Yeah.
Because, like, it makes no sense to me. Like, I'm just trying to
I feel
make
like
sense
you can't
of it
avoid
in
it
general.
for forever, though. You know, like, is inevitable. How do you like avoid it for forever? So they probably just had to they had to eventually face it head on. I don't know. You know, I'm not going to take sides on either side. It was great TV. That's all I gotta say.
Did you guys see there's another big election going on? They're looking for a new mayor of Cormorant.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
Really?
big
Yeah.
news.
First time since Mayor Duke. Biggest thing to ever come out of Cormorant, actually. It was in the
Okay.
paper. You
Did
guys
they-
read the Cormorant paper?
Yeah.
There's a paper.
I nominated.
Yeah.
Did
That's
they
great.
mention what species they want it to be?
They said anyone of any age, shape, size, or fur.
Oh,
I
okay.
nominated a guy by the name of Grant Matthews. You're running, Ken.
Can you imagine Ken as the mayor? What would be your first thing? Tesla chargers on every corner?
Oh, absolutely. Every single light
He's
pole.
blowing through the budget.
What would be the first thing you change about Cormorant, Ken?
Make it. I don't know.
Great again.
Make it look
great
a
again.
little less depressing.
Damn, Ken, that's our town, dude. Can't believe the mayor would say something like that.
I
Put a
wouldn't
roundabout in.
say Cormorant is put a roundabout in.
Oh, yeah. That'd be great.
I wouldn't say Cormorant's depressing. I would just say there's nothing there.
Yeah.
I would say, like, the nice part about Cormorant is you kind of have a blank slate. Like, you're not working with much. It's not like you have to rebuild anything.
There's nothing to rebuild.
There's
Yeah.
nothing there.
You just get the title and that's it.
Just
You're
put-
chilling.
What if we got a dog and we elected him mayor? Maybe he wouldn't be old enough by the time
As a
that
puppy.
there was an election. When's the election? November?
Probably at
I'm sure
Cormorant
it's this
days.
summer.
Yeah, like, because he would, still
Cormorant
be
days.
like
It's during Cormorant
4
days.
months. Oh, okay. So he'd be like 4 weeks old.
I mean, who
Yeah,
says
probably
we got to
not
get a
equipped.
puppy? But
That's true. Yeah, we could adopt.
Yeah, we got to find an old dog, dude.
would
Anybody
be-
that's running for election has to be damn near
Weathered.
dead because they're so old.
I don't know how well we've explained this on the podcast, but our original mayor used to be a dog, and it was like the first famous thing, living being, to come out of Cormorant. The reason that he got elected, it was because of him or our friend Jake's grandpa, and nobody wanted our friend Jake's grandpa to win. And
No, it was another guy too.
oh, and then
Another
one
guy. Two guys.
and one other guy, and so they said, well, we should elect the dog that always just roams the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And that's what they did.
Imagine that. You two are going at it, and then some dog ends up beating both of you. You're like, what the fuck? Wow, they
most
really
popular
didn't want
political
either of
candidate in
us
the country.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when they did that, I think that, like, they were the first people to ever elect like a dog into running the town, and so it kind of took over the internet.
Well, that, and I think it just created a little bit of magic in Cormorant.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
a little bit of
something
magic,
special.
and now there's just that you can just feel it in the air, and that's why so many great things happen here.
Yep, but he was on Duke, the mayor was on Ellen. I want to say maybe Dr. Phil.
I don't know if it was on Dr.
He
Phil.
kind
I
of
think
went
it was
on like
Today
he went
Show.
on like a
Today Show.
media tour.
Yeah.
Talking
It was
about
all
his
over.
policies.
That was great. Yeah, he
He started saying, he's like, never mind.
he had a Chrysler Sebring that he'd taken all the parades.
Yeah.
He was driving it too.
Yeah, he paid for it with his media money.
That's what I would do if I became mayor. I would just blow, maybe not the whole budget, but I would blow the budget on.
Hell of a campaign.
We know you
Your
would,
money.
Mike.
I would
On
make
hot
a-
dogs.
No,
No.
Well, yeah, could use a hot dog
Partially.
stand. No, I'd be a giant Duke memorial, like a giant dog.
I still think that we just got to do that.
Yeah.
Where do we put it?
in Cormorant.
Yeah, obviously, but
Maybe the Cormorant Park, but ideally if we had a spot in Cormorant, then it could live there forever. But I don't know who else is going to do it, so we got to step up and,
Yeah, I mean,
and
it'd
get
have
Duke
to
a
be us.
memorial.
that's also why we have the dog with the dog bark at the end of every video or podcast for the copyright. The picture is actually the dog. It's just a nice tribute.
Yeah, a little special touch.
Nice
It just
tribute.
makes Cormorant just that much cooler, in my opinion. Like, it's just funny. It's got a little bit more depth to it.
Absolutely. Totally forgot to do a little special introduction
Oh,
for our special
exactly.
guest.
Feeling
We have
very
our-
special.
Our homie, our friend Justin Hansen, as you guys all know him, on
Yeah.
the podcast today. You've been on the podcast many times before, but
Yeah, I mean, if you've
special
been
introduction.
watching CboysTV for a long time, you would obviously recognize Justin. He's been on the pod a couple times as well. But you've taken on a new role within the team, which we haven't really talked about, but you
A
guys could
game-changing
probably
role.
exactly. You guys could probably tell from the outside. Justin is now on as what's technically the title, merchandise manager.
Yeah, merchandise
think so,
manager. Yeah.
Fucking overlord. And so he's been on the team now for the last couple months, absolutely reinventing what we're doing, getting it streamlined because, you know, we're all creative and business minded in our own ways, but some things need like an engineer's touch, a little bit of systems put in place. So he's been able to help us get things in on time, create new products, and it's really exciting to have him here.
and better serve you guys at home. So, I mean, just from having better products to better service and faster shipping, and
Yeah.
been doing a great job, Justin. We have some new stuff dropping. Is it this week or will it be next?
This
Yeah,
week.
it'll be this week.
I mean, we've had a
Really,
ton
really
of-
cool custom.
Lots of good stuff already, but yeah, something that he had a hand in, and we've had some awesome help getting. Like we have skateboards coming out, which you see on the wall. It's actually not that one's a prototype, but that one, and then another duck camo one. But just so much cool stuff that we got to bring to life.
The
with your help.
coolers, the backpack coolers are my
Oh, those are
favorite.
so
yeah.
cool. I love those.
Chug buddies.
Yep.
Dude, impact vests.
Oh,
Yeah, we have the life
life
jackets,
jackets, they're-
impact vest, life jacket. Yeah,
All the
So
party suits are
excited.
still coming too. The party suits are
Dude,
going
there's
to be
so
super
much stuff.
sick.
I think it's really cool. Like the Life Wide Open is becoming more of a brand than merch. I think
yeah.
that's really cool.
No,
That
it's-
is the goal.
It's really cool. I mean, to give you guys credit, like when I started, I have no idea how you guys were as successful as you were because none of you have any time to manage some of the like details of what like goes on behind the scenes. And I was shocked at how much like of a backlog of work there is and still is, but also you guys have so many ideas and really good ideas. So it feels good to be able to like bring some of those to life.
So when we were looking for somebody to fill the position, you know, we had it posted out there, and Justin actually reached out because you saw the listing.
Yeah, I saw the listing and I
Like-
was like,
because you just happen to be looking for a new job or additional work.
I wasn't even looking for a new job, and the whole backstory of it is when we were going out to iWorks for the Super Bowl. My wife Megan and I were talking about it, and like, you know, it's so cool to see all the guys like be as successful as they are and how much the business has grown. It's like so cool. And she just asked, she's like, if the opportunity ever arose, like, would you ever like want to get back on the team? And I was like, yeah, I mean, if it ever like came about, like, I would love to be able to help out and see what they're doing and do whatever I can. But a couple weeks later, I saw the listing. I just saw, I don't know if it was on Google or wherever, but I was just like, huh.
Indeed,
that's
yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just asked him, I'm like, hey, I'm working from home. Like, I've got spare time. Is this something that you want me to do in the spare time that I've got until you find the candidate that you need for it? And then, yeah.
Well, when you were like,
Things
yeah,
changed.
so you text me and you go, hey, have you found anyone for that merchandise manager? And I was like, yo, CJ, I think Justin's got somebody for us.
Yeah, we were sitting there.
Yeah.
Which we had actually a fair amount of people applying, and we were going through the applications, but we weren't by any means like, oh, this is the guy. So we're like, oh, Justin's got somebody.
And then I text you back, and I was like, hell yeah, bro, who you got?
I'm like,
Actually, me. And I remember like sitting there. I was like on the plane with CJ, and I was like, dude, you won't believe this, but Justin is interested in the merch manager. And we were immediately like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense.
I think my first thing I said was, how didn't we think of that?
Yeah, because
Like,
we were
how
like,
didn't we were sitting there
gotta be
trying
under
to
our
think
nose.
of like who do we know? Do you think that'd be good at this? And then he says that, and I go, why didn't we think of that?
Things did move fast because you were like, I wasn't necessarily applying for a full-time thing. And then we kind of were very quickly like, that's what we need, bro. And like full circle, I'm so happy that you said yes and we were able to offer you that position because I mean, you had a good thing going and I just got to say you're onto another good thing. Yeah, if not better. I mean, full circle, dude. I just like, it's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, dude, it's so cool. Like full circle is such a great way to describe it, where it was just like the door opened and I was like, yeah, why not? I didn't even put in like a 2 weeks at work. Like I told him like, I have another opportunity. Like I'm able to start immediately. Like, do I need to go through a full 2 weeks? And they're like, whenever you're done with your stuff, you're good to go. I was like, all right. So I think I started like 6 days after I did the application or interview.
Quick turnaround time. Yeah. I just remember talking with the guys and saying, we need somebody who's corporate to fix these systems, you know, to keep everything in line, but also a degenerate.
Yep.
Yeah. And we were like, all right,
so they fit in with us.
Degenerate. Oh, God. And we were like, okay, we're kind of getting hung up on just corporate people, which we don't want, or just a degenerate. And we were like, we got enough of those around here. And then you texted me, and I was like, there it is, the corporate degenerate that we've been looking for.
Justin's always had a term called big braining, and that's what we all collectively were like, Justin's going to come in here and big brain some of this shit.
Yep.
No, it's been so fun. Like, well, you guys were all gone on a trip when I started.
Yep.
Like,
that's right.
Because you guys were all across the country, and it was just me and Ken here for the first couple of days. I just like sat next to Ken and asked him 100 questions a day, and he's like, "God, this was a mistake."
He just puts his AirPods in one time while you're talking to him. Just tones you out.
It feels really good. I know, like, there's a lot of stuff that's still in process, but yeah, I'm so much happier doing this, which was like, I don't know. I was very fulfilled doing the work that I was doing before, but I didn't have any emotional connection to it really. Like I had great coworkers and I liked the work that I did, but dude, when your friends are your coworkers and your coworkers are your friends, it's the best possible scenario. So it's been really good. I enjoy it.
And I mean, just speaking from like our side, it's like the flip of a switch, putting you into the team. Everything is doing so much better, but also it just feels so good having someone that we trust and we also know is going to do a good job. Like I just never once have we had any hesitation about that. And that made it so easy and just feels good.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you guys trust me to like make some of the decisions on the stuff that has been moving forward. And in like the corporate world, you guys are all at like 180% capacity of workload. Like you guys work 14 to 16 hours a day, every single day. You never stop. So like if I have like a hidden agenda, it's to like pull that back so you guys can live and breathe a little bit outside of the insanity that is your day to day, and trying to get stuff in line so that everything can run a little bit more autonomously. And it's good to see that it's working so far.
It is. I would love to be able to chill out a little bit. Yeah. I don't really foresee that. I don't really foresee that happening in anytime soon. It's not because of you. I think they're just so like, it seems like hiring you on, and then I was like, all right, sweet, that's covered. Now, what's 5 other things that can just fill that void now of like, all right, you got like 14%, you know, open now, and then it's like fill it up with another 45.
You know, when we release the products to you guys, it's obviously a ton of work in the back end. So like that moment at 7:00, video ready or not, is like the deadline. Like everything has to be 100% perfect at that moment. And normally it's me and Ken literally just furiously working at the last second. And this last merch drop before the R8, our biggest giveaway yet, you know, all these big advancements, like it should be 10 times as worse as it's ever been in the past. And about 4:00 rolls around and I had all my stuff done. I walked back and Ken looked like he wasn't about to explode with stress. And I go, you good? You need anything? He goes, no, I think I'm ready. And I go, I think I'm ready too. And I called Justin. I go, we good? And he goes, yep. Got a bunch more things to handle, but we're good. And I'm like, holy shit. Is this what it feels like to have things ready?
Yeah. I'm glad it went as smoothly as it did. You know, like for my first time being on that side of it in however many years, like to see how much you guys have grown and how much that process has changed, it was good to like get it all smoothly ran out for that first time. So it was good. And it's still been going really good.
Yeah, it's crushing. But, you know, something that we're trying to do is like build out the back end. Like we're building this new warehouse right now, and it's just going to be for merch. And then we're going to move it from here actually over to the new spot that we're building at the farm right now. But we're just kind of trying to, you know, reinvest back into what we're doing. And that's why we brought, you know, you on and turning this into more of a brand, like I said, than just merch.
Shopify, it is an integral part of our business, and I promise you, if you have a need for Shopify, they will blow you away with just how effective their tools can be. Our Shopify website is pretty simple, but if you wanted, Shopify is there to help you make the website of your dreams that does it all. Switching to Shopify was an absolute game changer for us, and it will be a game changer for you guys. I'm telling you, Shopify is the best option if you're looking to start or reinvent your online business. Running and growing a business means getting the insights you need wherever you are, and with Shopify's single dashboard, you can manage orders, shipping, and payments from anywhere, all inside their mobile app. And once you start selling, Shopify makes getting paid simple by instantly accepting every type of payment. We love using Shopify, and you will too. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/wideopen, which is all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/wideopen now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/wideopen. Today's podcast is sponsored by Mudwater. Mudwater is a coffee alternative to get your energy fix without the constant highs and lows that caffeine normally gives. Imagine being alert and calm at the same time while not having trouble falling asleep at night. Not only does Mudwater give you the morning boost that you need, but it's also packed with adaptogens, antioxidants, and all those other fancy health words that make you feel good. I'm absolutely a caffeine addict. I was stoked when Mudwater reached out to us. I love getting my caffeine fix as well as antioxidants and adaptogens all in one drink with Mudwater. To use Mudwater, you simply drop the powder into your favorite mug, pour some water on it, and give it a mix. Some go wild and add creamer, honey, or even CBD. So for a limited time, our listeners get up to 43% off your entire order, free shipping, and a free rechargeable frother when you use our exclusive link. Head to mudwater.com/wideopen and grab your starter kit. That's up to 43% off your order at mudwtr.com/wideopen. After you purchase, they will ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Start your new morning ritual today.
Yeah.
And I think we're on the right track.
And you guys have a fantastic brand, and you've got a lot of aspects that you're going to and plan on expanding on. So,
Dude, the more we do of it too, and the more that we get for products that aren't just t-shirts and sweatshirts, like the more I love Life Wide
Same.
Open.
Me too.
Like
Same.
it's like seriously grows on me like as a brand name like every single day. Like it is just so cool, and the more I see it out in the world of people wearing it and tagging us in pictures of them dirt biking or at a concert or like so many different things that are like actually, you know, seeing it in the real world is just so cool to me, and the more I love it.
yeah, it's awesome. It's such a great. I mean, there's a reason so many people get that tattooed.
That's
it's like,
that's one of the biggest things.
you know,
Yeah,
it's,
dude,
like,
that's
it's so universal and like such a great like motto to go by.
Yeah,
When's
and
the
there's
Life Wide Open homemade tattoo kit coming?
oh my gosh, yeah, just a little stencil. But no, seriously, like the more and more people I just keep coming across, and as the more it grows, there's so many people that literally live by that. And then I mean, it seems more and more evident to me that anything moving forward with products should be something tied in with that. Just to move backwards a little bit, one thing also I love about Justin is he'll like do these crazy like calculations. He's like, yeah, so we're gonna need a warehouse by this much square footage, and then you'll be outgrowing that in about this many months, and like he's just so dialed, you know, like it's just great. But going back to Life Wide Open, when Grandpa was on the news,
Yes.
Yeah, dude,
dude,
that guy.
he's living Life Wide Open.
yeah.
He even like he's like the biggest freaking advocate and like merch plugger for us.
Did you guys know that was happening? I did not.
Yeah, I
did.
know.
Not
It was a
until
treat.
like the day earlier, my mom had texted and asked if we could send this photo or something, which they didn't end up using. But
He had called me last Friday, so a week ago, and was like, hey, so, the Roger Maris Cancer Center, I don't know if they've just taken a liking to me or if they heard my story, but they're doing an article on prostate cancer and prostate cancer awareness. And they're wondering if they can use your guys' footage of the haircuts. And I was like, trying to kind of put 2 and 2 together. I was like, so they're doing a article or what now? And he was like, I don't really know much, but yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that he walks into that place and is just like so Grandpa Ron about it and has made friends with everyone. Well, he has made friends with everyone. My aunt, his daughter, was telling me that when he walks in there, everyone, like, giving him hugs. They know him.
They love him.
They know him by name. The nurses that aren't even working with him. And they did the news article on him. And dude, I was watching the news before that. Like, what a depressing.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know the last time that you guys like watched all the news, but it was like, so dude, they were talking about drug charges and homicides and all these things that they were just like trying to get clicks off of, right? That are like happening, local or even just like in the state. And then it was just kind of refreshing that it was like an actual like heartwarming story, and I'm sure they
positive.
I'm sure they
His
try
was
and
longer
do that
too. His
more.
was the longest one.
That was a long
Was
segment.
long,
It was
dude.
2 minutes. Everyone else had like 15 seconds.
Yeah, but I was just watching it, and then that came on, and I was like, maybe there is a little bit of hope for the news here. But it was a great article.
I bet you what happened is they were planning on writing an article on prostate cancer. They maybe went to the the clinic and was like, hey, like, we're trying to do this, and they're like, maybe asked for like, do you have like a certain patient who would be like a good spokesperson or whatever, and they're like, Ron.
Yep, there
Ron.
he is.
And then he just also happens to be YouTube famous and have all this footage as well, and just have an interesting story.
America's grandpa.
I literally,
I loved when they had Ron Schmidt, and then it had like the quotations, Grandpa Ron. Yeah, that was funny.
I literally burst out. I don't know if it was laughing or in shock when he said, yep. And when he's done with treatment, he wants to go skiing behind the world's fastest pontoon.
I know. I called him. I was like,
dude, come on.
You can't just go around saying that kind of stuff. Now you got to do it.
Yeah.
After he completes his treatment, Grandpa Ron says he wants to be the oldest man to go water skiing behind the world's fastest pontoon in August.
Well, so he was saying that to me when I talked to him last week when he was asking if they could use the footage, and I was like, I kind of just brushed it off because I don't really want him doing that. I was like, yeah, Grandpa, yeah, we can talk about that. Just hoping that it would kind of just end there.
And now it's on the news.
And then he says it on the news, and I'm like, dude, we're actually going to have to do this now.
You can eat shit water skiing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You're going pretty fast.
Yeah.
It's just not... Seems unnecessary. And let alone, why do you need the world's fastest pontoon? You're not going to be going full speed.
Exactly. That's the one
Well, they
upside to it.
left that in though, not just behind a pontoon.
Yeah, the world's
or with his
fastest
grandkids
pontoon.
behind the world's
Yeah.
fastest pontoon.
I was watching the news and watching the segment play out, and I was like, oh, this is great. And then they show him eating shit on the bowling lane.
Yeah.
And I go,
Come on.
the news just had to do that, didn't they?
I'm just curious how they knew to find that footage, because unless he mentioned it to him, because it's not like that's labeled in a video. Like they would have had to go to a video that doesn't have anything to do with Grandpa
Hey,
Ron.
you're right.
Out of like
I'm
the
sure they
500
they
videos
probably
we have,
told them.
go to the back end. He must have mentioned it.
Knowing him, he knows.
Dude.
He knows every single video that he's a star in.
Oh yeah.
Dude, though, I was like, you really had to mention that one. Out of
Yeah,
all
I
the
was
things that
surprised.
we've done with Grandpa Ron, and you
debut.
got to go. If he's not playing golf, he's out blind man bowling.
He's out faking
my
being
God.
blind.
Yeah.
Out faking
No,
being
I
I was like, all right, I'm not sure if that was
You
necessary.
could have left that out.
The
You
rest
could've
of it
done
was-
that.
the rest
blame
of it
him
was
for
good,
it
but-
because that is also my favorite Grandpa Ron clip too.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I mean, we're guilty of always showing it too, but it's always like adding context to him being like a crazy bastard. Like the guy is just off the handles. You never know what he's gonna do, and that's a perfect example of it, right? But as far as like the news article of like a heartwarming,
Yeah, it was a little out
this
there.
guy
Just
is
hit him with it.
It's like
is,
a jump
uh,
scare in the middle of the
Yeah, I was like, that was just not tasteful. It was
know.
so unnecessary.
I was recording it just on my phone, and then that pops up, and I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah.
And I just can't
Still.
help but just still go, fuck, that's bad. That was bad.
Yeah,
But
I mean, the dude can eat a fall like Gavin.
yeah.
Yeah.
and
Not the same thing.
and after
actually.
it happened, we bring him back because we were trying to bring him to the hospital to just get him checked out. And he was, like Evan, refusing to go, but he was actually like putting down his foot. He was like, I'm not going. If we're going anywhere, we're going to the bar.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, we're not doing that. So
settle
we'll
on
just,
going home.
I guess we'll just bring you home. And we bring him home. We walk in and we see Grandma. Grandma just sees it on our face immediately of like something happened. And we go, he ate shit like really bad, Grandma. And
Grandpa starts popping wine.
her first words are, well, he's pretty tough. Yeah. And I was like, no, Grandma, you don't understand how hard he fell. And she's like, I don't think you understand how tough he is. To be fair,
Yes.
I mean, yeah, he never did complain about it.
Like a
but-
rock.
Exactly.
Yeah, so he knows how to take a fall. But
I'd like to talk a little bit about last video. For one, you mentioned Evan's back.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that guy.
Boy.
So he injured it on the sandrail. He is actually gradually getting better. He's been going to the chiropractor. You can see him getting better as he goes. And he said literally he went there, felt like shit, and he like noticeably feels better after leaving. But we still went to go get him x-ray just because the chiropractor actually suggested just to double check just to make sure. Because like he was seriously like,
hobbling
laid
around,
up.
dude.
He was
All
walking
curled
around.
over.
Yeah. And then the freaking little toy car in his hinder. That,
so good.
that's something else. So he thought that we were gonna do like a x-ray and then Photoshop a really small penis in there because like sometimes in x-rays, but you couldn't put that on YouTube. That was the initial plan.
Yeah, so we
But-
settled with toy car.
Yeah, we were
It was
kinda
an actual
fucking with
debate
him.
we were going back and forth with.
Well, we were fucking with him like, oh man, I hope your x-ray doesn't show your little dick and all this stuff. And he's like, oh my god, he already knew where he thought that's where it was going, and then just a toy car up there, and it was funny.
They got it out and they found out that it was a Honda Civic.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. I
Well,
don't
at
know.
least
like
it
the
wasn't
wing
like a
threw me
Gen
off.
1 Cummins or something.
Yeah.
I know Gavin was here
Real
during
big
that time.
vehicle.
Yeah.
It was still a Honda though.
Oh, shit. Good point, Ken. Good point.
After it, Evan goes, well, maybe I could shove a tow truck up there.
That's funny. Yeah, after Evan wheelied the sandrail, you know, it's like weird to throw your back out on. It can happen on anything, and that's what it happened on. And he was like bedridden, aka we're out in the mud, and he's just laying on the ground
Yeah.
for the next hour while we're filming. Ken and I were mobbing our Broncos around.
I almost hit him.
I did too. I legitimate because he's wearing brown overalls, laying on the ground all muddy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how mad he would be actually?
mean,
If you got, yeah, you wouldn't take, it wouldn't take him out. He'd just be fucking pissed.
Dude, I thought he was like,
seriously?
Yeah, what the fuck you doing?
I do love when he freaks
Bend your
out a
wheel.
little bit.
Mike's got a bent rim.
I thought he was a pile of logs.
oh my
Where he was
god.
laying, it just looked like another clump of mud.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that would've been so
that would have
bad.
been really bad.
The wheelie trainer.
Oh yeah.
A lot of comments about the wheelie trainer. People are loving that and they want one of their own. I think it'd be great. That'd be something for
Yeah,
us.
you
to,
guys, you two really have a passion for it. So like, I mean, you're like,
Just-
we really got to sell these things. And
Well,
like,
the thing about
I
it-
don't
what-
see us making a ton of money on them. Obviously, that's not what it's about. It's about training people. Like,
Giving people the gift of a wheelie.
yeah.
So the thing about it though is we got scammed 3 times trying to buy one.
Yeah.
Like there is no company out there that makes one that
And-
actually will
like,
deliver it.
You got scammed, like where you paid them money.
yeah,
and it
Ken,
never
we need to
came?
get that money back. Can you refund that on the credit card or dispute it?
I mean, yeah, just let me know who the
Dispute
merchant
it.
is.
Yeah, I will.
But it happened 3 times. Like I got quite a bit of shit for my whole Suron deal, which was pretty stupid. But you got scammed 3 times. I think
Well,
you guys might
So
be
how
the
much
dumb
money
ones.
did we spend in total trying to buy one?
I don't know, 5-6 grand. Well, we were trying to make this video
Well,
happen.
I
Need to
get
make
that.
that ordering.
And obviously, you think one of them, like the first, one of them's got to work. But like, did you pull the trig on the second one before you knew the first one was a scam?
No,
yeah,
I-
the first one probably was.
Just
probably
wondering
took the
how that
longest.
happened.
I don't know the context of it, Mike.
All right,
You got a
I-
good point. You got a good point.
Okay,
It's a valid argument, especially
3
when you bring your
times-
Suron into it. Valid.
3 times is an exaggeration. The first one was like a legit. It looked great. The site looked legit, and I ordered it.
Remember, that's the one you
said it
showed
was.
me.
It said it would be here in 7 to 10 days. I'm like, perfect. You guys will be ready to roll on this video, whatever. It was ordered like in April.
Yeah.
Still never came. And then I was like, well, fuck, what the hell? Maybe it's gonna come, but customer service wasn't working. I'm calling them, emailing, couldn't get anything. Start looking at other options that people that build the same thing, and it's typically just like some sketchy bike life guy on Instagram. You DM them. It was a Venmo type of situation. Didn't send him any money. Just was kind of like, that's. I mean, I'm sure they'd probably do it, but Big Wrench and Gavin said they could build it in like 2 days. So that's what we ended up doing. But
Based on the first one that you found that you did pay for and never came, like,
that one's sweet.
it's just crazy. Yeah, that was like, you were showing it to me. And I'm like, wow, it's got the adjustable whatever, and it's got the swivel wheel. And it was just sick seeing Big Wrench and Gavin being able to look at that, and they recreated it like to a T.
And I mean, I've been vocal about it from the start. I don't see how you guys don't think that we could sell that many of them.
I'm not worried about how many we could sell. I'm just not trying to jam up Big Wrench and Gavin.
No.
make
You would have a different, like an actual manufacturer.
Let's do it then.
Manufacture them at scale with correct equipment that they're laser cutting all these pieces and every single one is identical. And yeah, you're not going to sell as many of them as T-shirts or whatever, but there is definitely a demand for them. And if you can set the price right, not price gouge these people. Right. Obviously, it's going to be expensive to build and whatever, so they're not going to be like cheap. The competitors are selling them at like $2,000. That's how much one costs, or $2,000 or $3,000. I mean, I think if you could do 1,500 or even 1,000, 1,000 sounds a lot better. But who knows how much you'd have into it. I just think you could sell them.
You saw how well it worked.
Yeah,
my back's all blown out after that.
Really?
So.
What?
Yeah.
How?
I got to go to the chiropractor.
How?
Dude,
No
all right,
offense,
hey,
but-
picture
You rode it down to the ground.
Picture how blowed out it would be if that didn't exist.
I know, but it's been hurting for a couple days now.
Really? So that was a prototype. We'll obviously need to do a bigger pad.
Yeah, wrong time for that plug.
Bigger pad. But I think, no, seriously, so many people are interested in learning how to wheelie, but they don't want to skid their back off.
I did tell you, Ken, whatever you do, don't let go of the handlebars.
And I did.
Why?
And I'm here now.
You were popping some wheelies. You were at 12 o'clock at one point.
It felt cool until it was like too far, and it was like, I can't save this. And
Well,
then-
that's the beauty part of it. You don't need to save it.
yeah, I know. And then I'm on my back getting dragged across that.
Ken, I gotta just tip my hat. You still did it.
Yeah, dude.
And I can honestly say this: you would never do a wheelie like without that.
No,
Like-
I probably would never do one without that
Right.
at all.
So I gotta just say I was pretty impressed to see you out there hanging 12.
Yeah.
Even
That
though it
was
was only for a
impressive.
couple seconds, but still, it was a sight that I never thought I'd see.
As Ev would say, it was Cheeto, but I did.
I don't think it was, dude.
No, I
No, what if Evan got addicted to the wheelie machine? I can dance on the seat. It's great. But no, for you, like,
I mean, think about how good he could actually get at wheeling, where you can like work out buff out the
exactly.
details of it, and then
He's like changing the full front tire on it.
Exactly.
it's like a
though.
sim. It's like a sim racer for like
Evan or really anyone. Yeah, no matter
NASCAR.
what your skill is, you could still learn something from it. But if you guys watch the video, Ken, before he fell off the back, did amazing. Like, you went 12, you pressed the back brake. And I think the beautiful thing about it is that it shows someone what the balance point feels like. That's what I think. I mean, that's what
because you're not
everyone's scared
chasing
of.
it. Yeah.
Like our filmer Dalton, he's ridden dirt bikes before a lot, and he was kind of in the power wheelie crew, and he's like, oh, that's what the balance point feels like.
Makes wheeling so much easier.
So much easier.
But it's scary to find, especially on a big bike.
Yeah.
But if you're on like a little pit bike, finding the balance point is way easier because you're going like,
Still a little
15 miles
scary.
per hour. You're not going to eat pavement quite as far if you do slam. But yeah, like me and CJ, when we used to wheelie back in the day, like you're just power wheeling and you're just chasing it. Like
Next
you're
thing you
constantly
know.
just like running the front tire down.
yeah,
Next thing you know, you're going 70.
I think I got to give you a little more credit. And one thing that you did forget to mention is that at least on a 4-stroke, there's some engine braking, and that's where you guys finessed that. You were because you could stand up wheelie for like honestly as long as you had a road for. So like there is some engine braking, and then you obviously eventually chase it out.
Yeah, I feel like you guys are underselling yourselves a little bit
Yeah,
for
you
how
guys
you
could
guys
really
could really
for
for a
miles.
We
long
just
time.
we just
No, but
wouldn't
it was
drop
a
back.
power wheelie.
We
Like,
wouldn't
it
drop
wasn't
back.
Drop back.
It
and
was
brake.
just like you'd get to this point and you'd kind of just hold it. Like it'd just be like idling.
I ate shit so hard back in the day. Do you guys remember when I was riding the 150, my 150, and I went over backwards over
culvert
by Jake's
Oh,
mom's?
Yep.
Yeah, that was bad.
That's the thing with
And I went through it was a jacket, sweatshirt, t-shirt, and then into my skin, and now I'm still scarred like on my shoulder from it. But it just road rash. Just
yeah, dude. Ken didn't even care about road rash. He was out there in those little shorts. Yeah.
when you had the wheelie trainer.
It's just funny when you bring up like a wheelie simulator. I feel like simulators are getting crazy in everything. Obviously, there's driving and flying and all that. But now with VR, dude, look at this. You can simulate working on an engine.
Oh yeah, I've seen this, and it's like it's all extremely realistic.
Bro, if you guys need an engine to work on, we got plenty of broken shit. Come on over and you can work on it for free.
Yep, no experience needed. You don't even need to have any VR training. that's the beauty of this is like, there's no way I'm going to like, even if I had all the time in the world, like I can't just like take an engine.
Yeah,
and then
can you
be like,
imagine?
Yep,
sitting
I'll get it
down
back
inside?
together. But I mean, again, if I had all the time in the world, maybe I don't think I would do this. But like, at least you could learn something.
I'm sure it trains people. I could see them using it at like tech schools or something. But
Yeah, that's
you learn
true.
a lot better just literally working
Doing.
on something. They'd have those at like
I
actual.
just
vehicle.
imagine Gavin doing like a full day of wrenching here, going home.
Starts playing.
That'd be
VR.
That guy lives for it.
Wrench
Yeah.
simulator.
Being a farmer and playing Farm Simulator, I don't think it happens, but it would be crazy.
I love the comments. Little kid holding flashlight
That's
DLC.
That's so funny.
Did you guys
Is it
have that
possible
like
to
growing
lose-
up holding the flashlight for your
Yes.
dad?
Oh, yeah.
And just constantly like, hey, no, over here.
Over here.
My dad would literally call me the gopher.
Is it possible to lose the 10 millimeter for ultimate immersion?
I was actually wondering that. Like, can you drop a tool and like lose it?
So circling back towards Justin prior to working here was an electrical engineer at a company. He went to school for it, did the whole things. And I saw this this reel where this guy created this kind of like a Jarvis type machine. And Justin is always doing what we would call big brain activities. He's always big braining things. And look how sick this is, dude. So it uses GPT, and then it scans golf clubs and like knows what they are and what he wants to do to it. Let me go in a little bit farther here. I love that people are actually using this AI stuff for like something cool.
How come every time there's a computer, like a voice you're talking to, they name it Jarvis?
It's because of Iron Man.
Okay. Yeah. but even in like the bench warmers.
He was
he's like,
Jarvis?
Jarvis. I think they talked to like the house.
Was it Jarvis and like Richie Rich or whatever?
There's a
too?
lot
Yeah,
of
'cause
Jarvises.
Jarvis
I
started
think.
out as a butler name.
Jarvis. And then he's just like, yes, sir.
I
Interesting.
have this one kind of a dumb
can't
bitch
imagine how
on my
much
phone
time that-
named Siri. So they're not all named Jarvis.
Yeah, dude.
Do you guys
My
use
Siri's
Siri?
a dumb bitch
No.
too.
I don't know.
Never, ever works.
Old
Ever. I
people love
guarantee you. Watch
Yeah.
this. Watch this. Hey Siri.
Well,
Nothing.
I have that turned off because that shit's annoying.
No, mine just doesn't listen.
Hey Siri.
Man.
Mine
He,
turned
like
on.
he's asking this thing. I know he has it set up. But yeah, he's asking it to do all this stuff and like, yeah, just build me this. And all I'm is asking Siri to do is make me a reminder for my haircut appointment on Thursday, and don't forget to actually remind me. And then she'll just put it in my to-do list, and then it just never reminds me.
My grandma uses Siri like religiously. Like if we're sitting here and we're like, wow, I wonder how many gallons flow through the Hoover Dam. She go, hey Siri, how much? Like
I
instead of
guess I
typing in,
do
because you
that.
know it's easier for her to speak.
No,
instead
old
of-
people love it because they're just not super
fingers.
quick with the typing most of the time.
Every time that I try and use Siri or even type text,
Oh
or
yeah.
talk to text, it always messes it up so bad. I'm usually driving when I'm doing it, and I have to like then take my time to delete it and then try
Even
and do it
worse.
again. I'm like, oh my god, this is not working at all.
Do you run like CarPlay when you have your phone in your car?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's another thing that I noticed. If you're talking to your phone and you talk to text, it's pretty accurate. At least in my experience, it's pretty accurate. But if you're in your car, it goes through the mic into
Oh,
that.
it's too much
And so then
background
I'm
noise.
like, oh, it must just not work in the car. And then I'm like, let me try yelling. So I'm like, I'm on my way. And then like then it starts typing it all perfect. I'm
Then it
like, I
starts
look
going,
like such
I
an
won't
idiot.
back down. Get up again.
I think it's just the mics in the Broncos are so bad because it's so windy in there.
They're just focused
Gotta
more so
yell.
on performance when they build those vehicles.
Yeah. Another thing I got to get off my chest is Ryan was scrubbing through that video. Quite literally not scrubbing, because Instagram took away the scrub feature, and in my opinion, makes the app way more trash.
Yeah.
It makes them more money, I'm sure, more engagement, longer. Like,
Yeah, you
dude,
just have to sit there and watch it
A
again.
minute long video, or maybe that was even longer. You can't scrub through it, and then there's the part that you want to watch again. Like, how dumb?
Why did they
Pretty
get rid of
frustrating.
that?
I
I
don't
did
know.
notice that. I wasn't sure if my phone was just glitching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't on the
that
bottom.
I think my phone
Bottom
only does
part.
it on videos that are over a minute.
Mine only does it on videos that are over 3 minutes, and at that point,
At that
Definitely
just
should have
scroll
a scrub.
past it.
What's you guys'
Put that shit on YouTube.
phone time?
Oh no, this again.
Oh god.
it's
So
bad.
I'm not gonna lie, mine is gonna be horrendous because lately I've been watching King of the Hill, and so I set it up and then I fall asleep. But instead of turning it off, I just hit my phone down and then move my head on the pillow, and the AirPod falls out, and I deal with it in the morning. So it's gonna.
How
be
do you
bad.
find it?
Just search screen time.
And
Hey
then
Siri,
screen time.
find my screen time.
Dude, we're going to
Okay.
be messing up everybody at home, dude. Hey, Alexa. You're welcome.
Holy shit! I spend a lot of time.
Mine is almost double yours, CJ.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I have 7 hours 48 minutes.
Holy fudge!
What do you have, Ken?
2 hours 56 minutes.
I do not believe
For
it.
the
Was it-
week?
What?
For the week?
Wow.
Oh my
Holy
God.
fuck!
Good for
Look
you,
at
Ken.
Dalton's. His is
Dalton?
15
Oh my
hours and 2
God,
minutes.
Dalton.
Does that-
What? What are you doing, Dalton? That's what you're doing in your
You can
office over
shut
there?
it off, you know.
Does yours include your computer?
No, computer's separate.
How is
I
that even
thought mine
possible?
was
Are you
like
even
Dalton's,
awake?
Dalton's texting his girl.
Hold on a second. How do I know? Because like I do watch a lot of video.
Yeah, mine's all from watching podcasts on YouTube.
Yeah, because
That's
like
almost
I
all my
have
time
8
is.
hours of being on max. That's just when I fell asleep.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I got 6 hours and 50 minutes. And even if that is a little bit skewed by falling asleep, which looks like at least an hour or two.
What was yours, Mike?
4 hours and 55.
And what's yours, Ben?
4:30.
Us three are really in the same boat. Where are you at, Ryan?
7 hours.
Holy shit!
But if you look at the thing, it's
But
7
7 hours and it's down 150% from last week.
That's
I
good.
don't know what
Because
the,
mine
no, it's
says,
up 158
Oh.
because
That-
I
that-
started falling asleep to it.
Yeah, so it is skewed, but yeah, like mine says up 9% from last week. It's one of those many things like you don't actually want to do the math on it because then you start looking at it and you go, dang.
How many pickups do you guys have?
That's
Yeah.
a thing?
I only have one pickup.
Yeah,
It's a
it's a-
Ford Raptor.
94 today.
Holy shit!
How many pickups?
mine-
Daily average is 309 pickups.
Mine's 192.
169.
Mine is 50.
Damn. So Ken, when you're ignoring us in the group chat, you're really just
really-
ignoring us.
I
You're
just
not looking
don't-
at your
I
phone.
just don't pick up my phone a ton.
Man.
Are you on your Apple Watch though?
No, I don't have. I never wear that. I lost it. Actually, no, I found it in my car because it was under one of the seats and it's just dead.
I gotta say, I'm pretty surprised by that, Ken. But
Yeah, me too.
We used to give you so much crap for all the scrolling.
yeah,
You're like the
yeah.
lowest
he
of all
used
of
to
us.
be. We
You-
used to
you-
just call him Scrolls.
Literally are.
Scrolls.
The lowest by far.
Some people can change over time.
I guess so. Actually, I had 150 pickups.
This is a big personal growth moment for Ken.
I'm impressed.
I am.
He's always
super-
I'm impressed. That makes me want to
Yeah.
be better, Ken.
Dude started wheeling
Why don't
and
you
put his
get-
phone down.
Get outside and ride a dirt
Yeah,
bike.
like,
Something.
I
Ben.
just
learn
put
how to
everything
wheelie,
in-
maybe.
Like my phone just does everything in scheduled summary, so it's like it just summarizes it every few hours.
How do you do that?
What you got going there?
So then it's not like a constant ding ding ding. It's like
Yeah.
every hour. It's like here's a summary of what you missed.
Holy
Mine's
dude,
like the
I use
Shopify
that.
orders and all that.
What?
Like I
Not
don't,
the best for urgent stuff, but other than that, amazing.
Yeah, can you push us through so like our texts that matter get through?
If I need to get a
Just
hold of
staring
Ken, I
at you
usually
blankly.
call him. I don't even waste my time texting him.
So
But-
I changed that on my phone where now, like, if any of you guys call, sorry, Mark, I don't know if you're on this, but I'll get you on it. It rings where, like, if
Oh,
other,
like out
you know,
loud.
so yeah, it's like an
need that
emergency
too.
bypass,
Oh.
right?
Yeah.
And I grabbed Evan and I was like, hey, Evan, let me see your phone. And he's like, what?
Yeah, he probably didn't like that.
No, and I was like, I'm gonna turn it on so when I call, it rings, so I can get through to you. You know, like I'm not gonna call you on Friday afternoon to talk about your week because you were here. You know, like I'm gonna call you with something important, so like it can go through. He goes, no, I'll just do it later. I go, I know you don't know how. Like I'll just do it quick for you, buddy. Like let's do it together. He's like, no, we'll do it later. Then he ran away.
You just gotta FaceTime him, then it always goes through.
He had like every number blocked. I don't know. He said he gets like 150 calls a week.
Really?
Or maybe a day or something like
Those are
crazy.
light numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so obviously if it was Ken saying that, I'd be like, well, yeah, we put his phone number on a billboard. Like,
It makes sense.
no joke, it got leaked. But for Evan, I was like, well, we haven't done anything with you, so I don't know who's calling you, unless he's just a part of some like scam program that's like hit this guy.
Gambling help hotline, something like that.
But instead of help, it's just like people that call each other when they want to go gamble.
You guys watch this video I just saw on Instagram. It's of a bull.
Oh yeah, I saw this dude.
Just watch.
Oh no.
So this is like the national anthem, where everyone's getting ready, fired up.
oh boy.
shit.
Just wait.
yeah, he.
Don't wear red. Don't wear red.
Oh! Looking
Yeah.
like Johnny Knoxville at that thing, dude. Is this one
Dude.
all right?
Dude, he turned
I don't
her
know.
into a
I
straight
don't
up
know. I
flapjack.
can't imagine that was good.
Man, so many
And
people
then
had this on
There,
camera.
he just goes and starts fucking people up.
I think.
Where do you hide from a bull?
In a white T-shirt.
I think
in,
just
in a black T-shirt.
or just run. Like you
gotta do circles.
I was so confused, but like, look
Really?
at this. Like they don't even move.
Bro, he triple tapped her.
Like they
That's
legit,
so
they
unnecessary.
legit don't even move. They're just watching.
Yeah, dude. They're
I
like,
don't think they were paying. They literally just turn around. You don't expect to have a fucking bull run out.
Everyone has so much to say about this, but like
3
realistically,
hits, dude.
she was she
don't
and her crew was larried at the
Probably,
rodeo.
yeah.
And
yeah.
You weren't
She
paying
looked over
attention.
and she's like, dude,
she-
I didn't have.
You don't
that much
heavily
to drink.
regret
You're not
wearing-
standing in the
wearing
middle of the ring.
Yeah.
But one thing, if a bull's ever chasing you, not that I've had to deal with it, Ryan should be the one telling us.
Really?
You're supposed to go side to side, or like if you run straight, that's your.
Because it's faster than you.
Well, no, I mean you just have better odds going
Of not getting
running in like
pile
zigzags or going go left or right or do turns because they like running straight.
Interesting.
Like,
What
you-
slows him down is when you start fucking turning because he's charging you. It's like
It's
so you
like
got to run a slant.
in Madden. Well, yeah, I mean that. Like in Madden, you just can't beat the juke move.
circles.
You just
zigzags.
can't beat it.
I guess that makes sense. If it starts getting close to you, almost like circle back around it and then keep going.
Yeah.
Don't wear red to the rodeo.
That's
pretty
that's
ballsy.
probably the best thing to
Pretty
take away from
ballsy.
that
what
video.
What the fuck was she? Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
wonder
I guess
how-
you don't expect for a loose bull.
How common is that though? Like how many times has that happened where the bull jumps
that
out of
bull
the
had
arena?
Exactly.
Solid lick.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
Dude, that's
really
so
rough.
bad.
What's a bunch out there like bad ideas? Okay, so you got wearing red to the rodeo.
Yeah, it's a terrible
You
idea.
got walking into your dentist holding
Sucking
pop.
a sucker.
Yeah, so eating candy.
That's a bad idea.
Yep.
Taking your driver's test with a beer in your hand.
That's probably a bad
Pretty
idea.
obvious.
I heard one yesterday where this guy said that he failed his driver's test. It might have been Ed Sheeran because he picked up the phone when he was driving.
Whoa. What was he thinking?
I slid
bad
through
idea.
a stop sign in mine.
Did you really?
So passed. Not all the way through, but just, like farther than you were supposed to.
In the winter.
Yeah.
I did the opposite. I stopped and there wasn't a stop sign.
Oh.
Yeah, I was
Baller
like,
move.
you know, I don't know. I was being extra careful.
Have you guys seen the new trend? Raw dogging a flight.
No,
Dude, I straight up, I do raw dog
Yeah,
flights.
sometimes.
What's that
But
mean?
then there, I think some of the guys are taking it too far. Raw dogging a flight on a base level would be like no headphones, no phone, no movies on your iPad, no book, like just nothing. You just sit there, you watch
Think.
the flight thing, and that's it.
Yeah.
But then guys are taking it to another level. They're like just raw dogged an 8-hour flight, no water, no snacks, no nothing.
Like a fast.
Yeah.
Dude, and then I don't know if they're actually doing that. Pretty funny though. And then some dude, I saw a meme that was like, just raw dogged a 15-minute drive to the liquor store, no music, no beer.
There is nothing quite more mind clearing than raw dogging a drive though, where you're just like
Oh, yeah.
where you have no music on and then just like kind of the background noise of driving down the road, and then you just like, dude, it's amazing the things that you'll think about.
Yeah.
But I always hate when some of those drives I'll get done and then be like, what did I even think about? Maybe there's some beauty in that, maybe not. But then sometimes when I consciously try to think and then think about how I want to remember what I'm thinking about later and
brother.
still don't remember about it.
Yeah, you got to write them down in the notes.
I bet I think of half of like the video ideas that I come up with driving.
Really?
Yeah. And I will always either put them in my notes or text them to CJ if they're surprises or things like that. And that's where my Siri comes into play, or my talk to text.
yep.
And then I'm like, no. And I'm like,
Because it's like a
backtracking.
big
I'm
thought
like,
that you need to get
I'm
out.
like trying to get it done. And then half the time it probably comes across as like makes no sense.
You ever watch The Lincoln Lawyer?
No.
That's the whole basis of that show, or not the whole basis, but it's a lawyer who can only think effectively when he's driving in a car.
Really?
Wow.
Really?
So what's he do when he's in court?
He just pulls his Lincoln all the way into the courtroom. It's pretty crazy. No.
Of course he drives a Lincoln. Yeah. What do you guys think you listen to more in the car nowadays? Podcasts or music?
I always used to make fun of my dad as I got older, or in my younger years, because he would listen to the radio. I go, who in their right mind is listening to the radio? And now I would say for like 90% of the time, I either do podcasts if it's a long drive, and if it's a short drive, radio, and if not radio, nothing.
I thought you were just going to say I only listen to the radio. I'm like, we lost him, boys.
Yeah.
Wait, why is that?
Did I listen to the radio?
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's just a pain to find music, and the radio is normally awful music, but at least it's on. You don't have to connect your phone. You don't have to pull your phone out if you're driving.
I do the same thing.
It's either that or nothing. But if I'm going to go for like a drive to the gym, throw on a podcast.
I think it's because you're dating a little personal DJ too. Like you
That
don't have to
doesn't-
pursue
I
as
don't
much
have to
music
think
as
about music.
No, you
Alondra, but
don't.
She's
my-
normal size though.
My point was,
Yeah, she's probably a normal sized DJ,
I
but
kind of
5'6".
I was gonna say this when you were talking about how raw dogging and thinking of whatever about the drive. Like
that is such an interesting way to say
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you're not doing anything.
Yeah, silent.
But podcast kind of ruined like my love for listening to music because before there was a time it was either music or nothing, and now
And it
it's
was
like,
hard music.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sometimes, yeah, and I don't do that nearly as much. But if I like am not in the mood for a podcast, I'm still like, I'd like to listen to a podcast. I definitely don't want to listen to music right now, though. And I'm like, when did I ever say that? Like, it feels weird to say. Like,
Do you still listen to like hard EDM?
I hear it in Justin's office sometimes. You come in there, it's like,
I still get a lot of it
excision
actually
set.
from Justin.
ooh. Someone sample that, dude.
Mark's in the back, like, damn, that actually went kind of hard.
Dude, I can't get away from it. Even with like podcasts, I still listen probably 20% podcasts, 80% music. And it's not all just mayhem music.
Justin, you got to get the subs back in the truck, dude. So
was
Justin
so
had a
absurd.
BMW. What was your BMW?
It was a BMW 325 Xi.
God, that thing was awesome.
And
Falling apart by the
dude,
because of your subs.
dude, that thing
Rattling the
didn't
thing
have a
loose.
tight bolt left on it.
dude.
And then you had what, 212?
Yeah, it was two
Competition.
two Sundown SA12s and like a 3,500 watt amplifier, something like that.
Those subs are actually in the boat.
Are they still running?
I believe they both are new because they've independently quit, and then I buy a new one of the same thing. But the
Solid
amp's still
warranty
going.
program on those things.
Yeah.
Jake actually, for a stint before the boat, put them in his mom's Outback, and like had he left them in there as long as Justin left them in his BMW, also would have rattled that apart.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
How's the boat doing then?
Yeah.
It's okay. When you turn it up, the side of the hull flexes so hard, the water like bubbles on the
ripples
outside.
out.
So
Yeah,
cool.
that's-
like
that
beads
is-
off it. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize probably how annoying it was until there was another boat out on the lake that like has a decent speaker system and you can hear the bass like in your house. And I was like, damn, our setup was quite a bit better than that.
Yeah. Dude, it was with your boat and the subs. The only time I didn't like it is when I happened to be sitting above them.
Oh yeah.
That was just miserable.
Yeah.
And you got a packed boat. There's nowhere else to go.
yeah, it just shakes
You
you.
just got to take it.
Yeah. But now we turn them down. We've
thing-
matured.
The thing
Oh,
about the
yeah,
boat, though, is it's a open space,
Yeah.
right? But with Justin's BMW, for example,
100%.
it's just such a confined area, you know? So, like, you feel the air next to your head shaking.
Yeah.
Like, you feel every single boomf of the sub, like, in your chest, in your hair, and your face, and, like, everything about it. It was, like, such a experience that only should last, like, 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah. I had no
Like-
business driving to school every day with those going
But
at
yeah,
full volume.
I was gonna say, so like that was just when like the homies were rolling with you. But were you rocking that when you were
Yes.
raw dogging it?
The raw dog that I had then was I would just sit, no music on, and it would just be the amplifier static, and the subs would still be firing.
fucking
And it's like,
buzzing.
oh my God. Yeah.
Just to feel something.
Yes. You could like fold down part of the back seat in that car, and I cut out the foam in the back seat so that I could fold it down and it would be all the way open to the trunk, and I could float a piece of paper in my driver's side window as the subs were going because it would just like move so much air and it would just sit there.
Mark is like, hell yeah, in the back. Mark sitting on the couch back there. Didn't you have a concrete floor in your car? Yeah, you put a concrete floor in because it like to flex as the enemy of sub.
Plexiglass, bulletproof
Bullet-
There's just
windshield.
levels to it all.
Wait,
because
what?
Dude, Mark's done
setup-
He's lived a lot of life.
Yeah, your setup would put
415s.
Oh my God.
I'm just trying to put myself in that position where that would be.
So
So
really be about it.
they
Yeah, you
did
gotta
yeah.
be about it.
if you at the age of whatever you would have been when Mark had that, your granola ass would have disintegrated.
I'd imagine you were like saving up for each sub at that point, though, where you're like, all right, just made an extra $200, buying another sub. That is insane. Did Tint have that too?
That's
Jesus
wild.
Everybody did. I mean,
Yeah,
you
everybody
just,
did.
everybody has
Everybody
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
Something to be said is that so many cars, their stereos aren't very easy to replace, so that makes it more difficult. But like they come with a factory sub, whether it's shitty and tiny or decent, but you're not gonna like pay a bunch of money to then replace that sub when I got a sub. Most of the time, it's for the cars that just have no bass whatsoever, which, in my opinion, is a horrible experience.
Yeah, I'd agree.
You call me a granola ass?
I just called you a granola.
Oh, okay.
I think
He said
asked if it
granola
was
ass.
You said granola ass.
Disintegrate your granola ass.
Like, why would he disintegrate just because he was so small?
Yeah,
Frail.
he had no gluten in him, and it was
No
just
glue
disintegrating.
holding
Nothing holding them together.
There was actually a couple comments that was like, Mike's got to throw it back. Ben's being hard on Mike this episode. I think it was when he was talking about maybe you almost burning your house down.
Mike's got to throw it back.
Yeah,
On Ben. What? Pause. The people will be glad to hear you did.
everybody likes a little bit of controversy or this and that, which we don't have a ton of around here.
Controversy sells.
It does, like, and we really don't. We get along a little too well, so you don't see it much. But
So we might have to change something about that.
no fist.
Granola. Beach.
Granola, Ben.
Granola ass.
Granola ass. It's more along the lines of just not always just being like on the exact same page.
Yeah.
Like at some point you gotta disagree or argue or throw a shot just to make things a little spicy.
People love it when we make fun of each other, which we
Yeah.
just do naturally. But like, if we cut all that out, a lot of like the funniness, like
Would be
people
gone.
just
Be
love
too
that.
dry. Yeah.
People love it.
We fight like brothers, basically. It's like when people say, like, do you ever not get along? I go, kind of like brothers. Like,
Yeah.
you all know whatever you're doing, like, we all do it with each other's best intentions in mind, but we are with each other all the time, so we get on each other's nerves. I'm guilty of it. It was funny. One time I was hanging out with my other friends, like my college friends, and I was with them for a whole weekend, and nobody said any, like, mean things about each other. And I go,
we don't know
to each other?
I go like, holy shit, this is a positive environment.
That would drive me nuts. If no one's talking shit for a whole weekend, I would lose my mind.
Just what do we say?
I messed up and no one called me an idiot.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, that was strange.
I
My
didn't get-
self-confidence was through the roof.
Yeah, I didn't get completely crucified when I
Yeah.
dropped that thing.
Yeah.
They actually told me it was gonna be okay.
Yeah, I was just so caught off guard. I figured they had to been messing with me and something big was coming, but
Something big.
If I'm being a little whiny bitch, then
You're going to get called out.
well, I get called out, but also like if it's your significant other, you're like, oh, I got it, whatever it is, I don't know what yet, but I got to do something about it. But for us, you're like, well,
Yeah.
give them a couple hours and then we'll just
Get over it.
yeah, just blow over.
Ben's going too hard on Micah about his hot dog addiction. It's not a problem.
It's a problem, dude.
It's not a problem. It's a lifestyle. Okay.
I thought you were gonna be on my side, Ken. It's not a problem. It's a lie. No,
I thought you were
don't-
gonna say it's not a hot dog, it's a brat.
If there's anything that would be my line, that's my line.
So, Justin, since we have you here, we'd be remiss to not bring up some things of the past.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I was reflecting the other day about when you edited one of our videos. You remember that?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Damn, do I wish you would have stuck with it.
Oh, gee, I don't know if you do, dude.
What was it? It was Life of a Seaboy, right?
Yeah, it was one of the.
No,
I think
that was Mike.
That was
Yeah,
mine.
that was mine.
It was the
The
one.
other edit.
It was,
Yeah, it was
Ken edited a
Ken
video
edited
too.
a video.
Ken edited a video?
on his
yeah.
MacBook Air.
Shut up.
Yeah,
What-
it's like
what
the
was the one
first,
that you
like,
edited?
It's like the
it's
third
like-
one.
It was CboysTV Summer 16.
Oh, I thought that was
Oh my
Mike.
God.
There, it was more of a
I'm
montage.
the-
Yeah,
Oh,
it
man.
Boys TV Summer 16.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, Jay, but it might be our least viewed video.
It probably
at
is.
119,000.
After
deserves to
Summer
be the
16,
least.
they were like, well, I'm more interested in Summer 17.
Had to put a year on it.
Yeah, the SEO on that video is pretty bad.
Ken edited a video. He edited the when Spencer got his silver Mustang.
No, it was the snowmobile one.
Yeah. It's
Which
like
snowmobile
It's a
one?
winter one. I know
Yeah,
that for
it
sure.
was a
I'm pretty
winter
sure
one.
Ken,
We break too
unless-
much stuff?
It was the old
was.
sled gets big air.
Really?
Blenders giveaway.
Not bad, Ken. 651. He left.
I get it.
Where'd he go?
The old intro.
It's like freaking you wonder where everyone is, and it's like Ryan's at work, CJ's at work, Justin's being a pussy.
There's no way. There's no way he edited that because they added in cats and stuff.
I'm pretty sure it was the Spencer's Mustang one.
I
No,
think I
it-
edited that one.
It was the
Jumping
snowmobile
the
one. We'll see if he
370?
remembers. Yeah, it was jumping the 370. Ken, do you remember which video that you edited?
I remember it was a pain in the ass to upload though.
Was it the old snowmobile gets big air? Was it the jumping the 370?
I have no idea.
You don't have any nothing?
I think there's a couple I did.
We're gonna have you start getting back into that, Ken. Next week you're gonna edit on top of shipping and all that. Just super
In
stressed.
a holiday week.
A holiday week.
Yeah, that's right. We're all gonna be on the boat, so we're gonna have you go back into the editing bay.
Damn, I can't believe I was even able to edit that video on the laptop that I had. That laptop had no business editing anything at all.
I feel like at
Dude,
the time
every
though,
single
at
one
the
of
time
ours.
you were probably like, it's a powerhouse.
You for sure were.
until
This one has 6 gigs of RAM. It's gonna handle it great.
it was great. I didn't have any problems with it until Jake put Gabe Corn on.
Oh my gosh,
on
that's
on
right.
on a Friday and then left it open all weekend.
Yeah, did that have
The
something to do with
malware
how
just-
long it was open for?
That laptop ended up dying very soon after Jake messed with it. So.
Yeah, so that's right.
Man, he's good at breaking
Toasted
everything.
it. Jake watched that corn on your
I love when you grabbed your
laptop?
computer to
I
do
know.
it. Dude.
well, he was doing
open.
it to mess with him, I think. It was like a prank. And then it toasted it.
Yeah, it got so many
Bricked
things
it up.
down on it. And
But that's
it's
because
just-
you like
it-
Windows, dude. If you were on a Mac, you'd
Yeah.
been just fine.
I-
still on the
that
Windows?
same
Well, no,
MacBook
he's on
Air
Mac.
for like 10 years.
I'm on Mac now. But
How do you like it?
He's fully converted as
I
of.
like it.
Do you?
Yeah,
Oh, you'd
it-
rather have a Windows?
If I were to build like a PC that was going to be like, I don't know, like a crypto mining one or like a gaming PC, then I would want it on Windows. But I don't know, Mac is great for everything that we do here.
Yeah.
So.
He's
feel
just
like-
saying that because we gave him a Mac.
No, once I got used to it, like the keybinds and everything are different, but it runs great for, that's a 2018 and it still works awesome. So
Yeah. They last a long time.
I feel like in that type of deal, it's like Macs are like Mercedes. You don't really mess with them. They just they come and they are what they are.
Yeah.
And then a Windows is like a 2006
Subaru.
Corvette or Subaru.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure, it's just like as it is, it works. But if you take all the pieces out of it that it comes with and custom make it to your liking, it's a pretty good rig.
yeah,
It seems like to me,
and not nearly as reliable.
Exactly.
yeah, in my experience with Windows computers is like, yeah, they're better probably right out the box if you get the right one, but they don't last as long.
Yeah, they
And-
They seem to only last like 2 years, maybe 3 max, whereas like a Mac just lasts for a long time.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, in my opinion, that's honestly changed here in the last couple of years. Like, now that Apple makes all their own silicon, sorry, this is getting nerd shit, but Apple makes all their own silicon for their chips now, and they function way better than anything else. Like, they
Really?
they outperform most things on the market. So.
What's
interesting.
silicon?
Do you want to know?
Like the plastic wrap that they wrap it in.
Yeah, so like they make the
That's
custom wraps.
silicone.
Yeah, no, that's what they make the integrated circuits out of. So they have their own chip that is their GPU, CPU, and RAM all in one chip, I believe, and it's incredibly efficient.
Ryan, I thought
Now
that,
that all the listeners
I'm
are
glad
asleep.
to hear that. I love this because like Apple's always like they go iPhone 7, 8, 9. They're like, we went from the A16 chip to the A17. Obviously, it's gonna be better, but I don't know anything about that stuff.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Ryan, when you said that you were digging up some old stories from Justin's past, I thought for sure you were going to talk about the incident.
Oh, God.
I thought
You
that's
should
what
not.
you were.
Like when you were like
teeing
referencing
up.
that, I was like, I think that's blacked out of my memory because of how aggressive that was. I was like, oh man, we were on the phone with them, right? Was that all over the phone?
Yeah.
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 And I was just
Thank God he was on the phone.
Dude.
Otherwise, I don't know
was
what would have happened. We would have had to
screaming.
call
Would've
the
been an assault.
cops.
I don't even remember
We
what the
would've had to
context
call you in,
was.
Justin.
Like, I don't even remember what the background of it was. I just remember there being a phone
I just
on
remember you
speakerphone, and
being-
you just
That's it. He didn't even know.
Dude,
who
you
he
were
was
so
talking to.
passionate. Yeah, you didn't know what you were talking about or who you were talking to, but you were fired up.
yeah, that was bad. That was really
That was
bad.
pretty funny. It was funny.
I don't think I could unlock being that mad like anymore. I don't think I've got
Dude
that
was
in me.
fired
anymore.
up. Context: we were talking to like a supplier that we had worked with for our old.
Well, we just got in this big jam up, and then
Well, because
we were trying to fix it.
and maybe I'm forgetting, but like, weren't they in some like weird type of like
it was some
personal-
cahoots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's some
some-
weird,
We were
I don't
getting
know
the short
entirely.
end of
weird
the stick.
background relationship, and
Yeah.
we were just getting shafted on it.
Yeah.
And now I'm getting mad again.
All right. Maybe change the subject. Justin's getting fired up.
There's a couple ounces of whiskey in your tummy.
I don't remember exactly like the details of it, but I remember asking Jake because I was like, man, like maybe we really like overstepped on that one. And I was like, who's like a successful business guy? Like, and how would they handle it? And I was like, hey, Jake, what would your dad do if that happened to him? He's like, he would have probably hopped in his plane, flew right to wherever they were at, and been like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, oh, maybe we didn't. But I was like, man, if you had a plane, then we probably would have done that.
I'm glad we didn't have a plane.
I think of that in so many things. I'm like, oh, it's a good thing this was a slow grow because, man, there could have been some mistakes like that were just good to make early.
Dude, 100%. Yeah, I think we've made so many mistakes, and I'm very happy that we got them out of the way. Granted, we still make a mistake every single day. I think back to how many things that we've done wrong, and there's no way that you can learn that without just doing it.
Yep.
Nobody can teach you that or tell you that to like how to avoid things unless you just go through it. And that was just one of them, but because we were talking about that a couple podcasts ago, and Justin then texts us the group chat afterwards, and he goes, just listen to the podcast. Kind of blanking on what story you guys were talking about, but I think he's coming back to me.
I just started sweating in my bed. I'm like, God damn it.
That was so funny.
Your voice just kept getting higher, and like as trying to not like yell like what the fuck. You're like, what the fuck are you thinking?
It kept going higher and higher. By the end of it, you were like,
Dude, I couldn't breathe because I was probably so mad that I was just running out of breath.
Yeah.
Oh man.
we had to step out too.
I think
Well, we were all in it.
I'm pretty sure I
chewing them
scared
together.
you all out of the room.
Well, we were like, I think he's handled it.
No, I was definitely scared. I was like, I don't know what to do.
You know what'd be fun is to go back to that old shop, that first shop, and just see it. I don't know. For some reason, like I remember a lot of it, but also it's like it never even happened. And we were in there for so long.
I can still feel like walking on that carpet and like going up to Mike's office or bedroom/office and being crunched
That's
over.
probably where, like-
CJ falling down the stairs.
Fuck. Yeah, I ate shit.
Bringing him in, getting stitches.
I think it feels like I have more memories there because like we still here. If we move from here, I'd go like, man, the memories at this shop far away that. But yeah, there's some really good memories at that first shop, especially because it was so small. Like we quite literally had to stand closer to each other when we were like in the kitchen area and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you
like,
live
calm
there,
down.
Mike, so you spend more time.
That's true, but I lived here too for just as long as I lived there.
That's
Maybe
true.
longer.
True.
Yeah.
I'd love to if the people want to see it, maybe we'll do like an unlocking memories of the old shop, and we can go through some stuff and talk
Go
about it
look at
because
it.
man,
carpet in the bathroom.
carpet
was
in the bathroom.
Diabolical decision to have carpet in the bathroom.
That was good times though. I was just at my parents' house the other day, and I went upstairs to the loft where it all started.
Oh
Where like Mike, you used to live there too.
man, Mike.
Yeah, Mike's just
everywhere.
kind of bounced around. He's like a nomad,
Some might call it a couch surfer.
couch
There's
surfer.
a little more dialed than that, but pretty much couch surfer.
And I was just up. I was up at in the loft where we used to, first started editing the videos and shipping the merch out. And Mike lived there, and it was just like it seems like an eternity ago.
Yeah.
I guess thinking back to like 9 years ago, that is a pretty long time ago. Like think about 9 years before that, I would have been like 8.
We're actually at 8 years. You said 9 and
8?
Yeah, July 20th of 2016 is
16,
when the
okay,
channel got made. So we're actually coming up on 8 years.
Coming
in
up
like
on 8.
The
Got
next month, 20 days.
Got it. I've been saying it's wrong. I've been saying we're coming up on 9.
I don't know if we're boosting or hurting our stats.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
probably better off saying 8 years.
With the journey of people leaving, coming back, all the things that have happened along this, I know for a fact if it had happened differently, we wouldn't be here right now. But I truly think if things hadn't went the way that they did, I don't know if we'd all be here right now. So thank God it did happen that way. Justin, it's fucking fantastic having you back around, and we're a great addition to the team. We're thankful to have you.
It's awesome to be
Good times.
back. It's awesome to be back.
Well said.
You're stronger than ever now.
Next time we run a pod like this, we'll have to have Jake on too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It
we'll
might
get-
get a little tight, but we'll go back to the
It'll just be like the old
to the
shop.
original, yeah. The
get another
original
mic.
7. Leave a comment down below if you want to see that pod with the
whole
OG
gang.
crew. Yeah, back at it. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Subscribe if you haven't.
Peace.
Peace.
Cheers.